It's not an easy marriage. He has to look at me and see what I need. And we have to make decisions based on that, not based on what people think marriage should be.
Right? Marriage demands that you be the best version of you, or it ain't gonna work.
I think, so, I mean, because this is your red table and you like brought yourself to the red table. I think you need to say clearly what happened.
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
You know, talk about my relationship with Pac and trying to figure that out. That was a huge loss in my life.
Absolutely.
Because he was one of those people that I expected to be here. And my upset is more anger, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel that he left me. I really did believe that he was gonna be here for the long run.
From looking at him, wasn't necessarily like the type of cat that I would even like deal with.
Were you ever jealous of the love Jada had for Tupac?
Oh, fuck yeah. But she just loved him like he was the image of perfection, but she was with the Fresh Prince. I couldn't handle it, you know? I was the soft rapper from Philly and he was Pac. Right.
Marriages have different ups and downs, no doubt, but the union between Will Smith and Jada Pinkett-Smith can only best be described as rocky. And just like the general consensus, Jaden Smith seems to be pointing accusing fingers at his mom, Jada, as the cause of all the family problems. So what exactly is going on with the Smiths' home, and why is Jaden blaming his mom for it all? Off the bat, one will assume that the marriage between Will and Jada, which is often described as one of Hollywood's best, consists of nothing but roses and flowers. But that may not be the case, as their 23-year-old son, Jaden Smith, is now shedding more light into the family dynamic. Much like the general public, Jaden is allegedly laying the blame of the unfortunate Oscar Slapgate saga at the feet of his mother, even though she wasn't directly involved in the assault. The legendary Smith household have been in the cross-eye of the media this past few weeks, following Will's inflamed reaction to a joke made at the 2022 Academy Awards by comedian and host for the night Chris Rock at the expense of Smith's wife. To prove the theory that Will losing his cool at the Oscars was much as his fault as it was Jada's, many have been quick to point out that Will initially appeared to have laughed at Chris Rock's joke after the comedian made a quip about his wife's shaven head. That is, until he saw Jada's stern reaction, a reaction which spawned the usually collected Smith into storming the stage. And shortly after taking to the stage to assault Rock, Will went on to win Best Actor for his role in the tennis-inspired movie King Richard later that night. But it was after giving a tearful speech during his acceptance, in which he referred to himself as a vessel of love, that Jaden raised a lot of eyebrows. First, the young rapper wrote on Twitter, "And that's how we do it," referencing his father's wins, while further applauding Will in a since-deleted tweet saying, "My dad's speech made me cry," cementing the approval of his dad's words after the unfortunate altercation with Rock. Although the model and actor has released no further explanation, the whole debacle, many were quick to point out that Jaden's show of support to his father was his way of taking a dig at his mother. And while the much-talked-about incident has since gone viral, the public's reaction amidst the scandal is very much in tune with another member of the Smiths' home, Jaden. In response to his "That's how we do it" tweet, one fan argued that what Jaden really meant by that was, "My mom emotionally battered my father to the point of bottling up his anger, then weaponized that anger to perpetuate violence against someone I dislike over a joke. Also, I grew up within the bubble of a normalized toxic marriage, so I find this to be acceptable," the user commented. To which another replied, "You are so right, Jada is evil and toxic. Wanted an open marriage so she wouldn't be seen as a cheater? She is so controlling. I wouldn't trust her if she was the last person on earth." Some others have even likened Will's reaction to Chris's joke as misplaced anger from years of abuse in his marriage. Folks, stop listening to the spin. The slap was not about alopecia or protecting black women. This was about Chris Rock causing the Oscar audience to laugh at Jada Pinkett-Smith for the second time, and the humiliation of all the entanglement jokes, an account on Twitter related. The notion that Jaden holds a grudge against his mother Jada may not be so far-fetched if only one takes a trip down memory lane. You'd be reminded of the year 2012 when the then 14-year-old Jaden asked his parents for a very odd odd gift for his 15th birthday, which was for him to be legally separated from his parents. Later addressing the nightmarish desire in 2018, after a couple of years had passed on Jaden's request, Jada Pinkett-Smith opened up about the experience alongside Jaden, her daughter Willow, and Jada's mom Adrienne Banfield-Jones on an episode of the Red Table Talk, revealing how devastated she was when her and Will's son asked to be emancipated. At 15 years old, Jaden and I remember this day specifically. It's probably one of the most heartbreaking moments of my life, Jada said, adding, "You got to a point where you told me straight up, you were like, Mom, I have to leave here to live my life." The mother of two also continued, "I remember thinking to myself, as devastated as I was like, he's right, the time is now. He's 15. It's time for him to leave the house." Although the performing artist ultimately decided against emancipating from his parents at the time, more recently, Smith revealed that he had made the transition to no longer go by his birth name, Jaden Smith. During an interview with Apple Music and Zane Lowe, Jaden made the announcement that he decided to mononymously go by the name Jaden, giving his music career as one of the reasons why. "I create different characters for myself, and it's like, Jaden, that's music, and Jaden Smith, that's acting in movies. I wanted to just make that little distinction there, just a little bit. Different things are happening," he said. Still speaking to Lowe in the interview, Jaden said he came to the decision much earlier, but he chose not to announce it and just wanted to keep it low-key. However, the Karate Kid star didn't just arrive at that decision all by himself. In fact, he drew inspiration from his younger sister, Willow Smith. "I realized that Willow changed her name to Willow at some point in time, and that she was no longer Willow Smith. Yeah, it took me a while because if you look Willow Smith up, it still comes up. And then it took me a while to see that it was just Willow. And I was like, yo, that's so strong," says Jaden about his sister. "That's strong, Willow. You feel like you don't have to say her last name. You're just Willow," the icon rapper added. Is it just us, or does it almost feel as if the 23-year-old Jaden doesn't want to be associated with the Smith's name, as it's no coincidence that Jaden, who wanted to legally split from his family very early on in life, has now decided to drop his last name completely? How sad that both Jaden and Willow have dumped their family's last name. But we bet it's related to their parents' many failings. Or perhaps it was the infidelity scandal known around the world, popularly coined entanglement, that completely did Jaden in and prompted his desire to also be disassociated from their parents. After a decade or two of relatively marital bliss between the older Smiths, the entire world was left in shock when the news of Jada's love affair with singer-songwriter August Alsina began to unravel right before the public's very eye. It all started in 2020 when Alsina sat down with The Breakfast Club's Angela Yee to promote an upcoming album, but dropped the biggest bombshell instead. Sometime during the interview, August made allegations that he gave years of his life to Jada in a romantic relationship, and did it with her husband, Will Smith, not just in the know, but with his blessing. And even though reps for Jada immediately responded, calling Alsina's claims absolutely not true, Jada nonetheless confirmed the rumor in an episode of the Red Table Talk with her partner Will that she did have a relationship with August for a while. However, insisting that she and Will were separated at the time. While the news of Jada and August Alsina shook the entire pop culture world, many concluded that the shocking news was even more distasteful with the knowledge that it was Will and Jada's son, Jaden, who introduced the Alsina to the family. Like us, many fans who learned this swiftly took to social media to let out their disbelief at the viral news. "It's all Jaden's fault. I was minding my own business till he brought August Alsina home. That's how the entanglement began," one fan tweeted. Another fan replied, "This August Alsina, Jada Pinkett-Smith issue is too complicated. The fact that Jaden Smith is Alsina's friend? Although the Hollywood royal family have been victims of various infidelity rumors over the years, amidst claims that their marriage is an open one, the couple who constantly refute these claims were caught in their own web of lies when the Alsina story broke. However, in a sad twist of fate, and the more displeasing fact is that this time, Jaden's name was being dragged alongside his parents, which is probably what led to a major shift in their relationship. Despite all the confusion surrounding Will and Jada's marriage, one thing is very clear. We would be pretty mad if one of our parents hooked up with our friends too. Is Jaden justified in blaming his mother for all the Smiths' woes, or should both partners be blamed? Let us know what you think in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out. As always, thanks for watching.